So I really am a fan of the run, walk, run technique, and I really enjoy trail running. But are those two compatible? It has some challenges. Welcome to Ageless Runner. I'm Ralph. Hey, if you're a fan of running like I am and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so and click that subscribe icon down in the corner anytime during this video. Thank you so much. So I said in my opener, there are two things I'm really fond of in running. One is trail running. The other one is the Jeff Galloway run, walk, run method. But you have to ask yourself, are those two compatible? Now, I'm assuming you know about run, walk, run, but if you don't, I've got a couple links down in the description to help you learn about and study about it. Maybe go check those out and then come back and watch this video. But the challenge with doing run, walk, run in the forest is that you have all kinds of things you need to walk over. You might have a bunch of roots, a bunch of rocks, or some really steep hills you want to walk up. And that makes it very difficult to set a rigid timer. You know, sometimes you have challenges like this, steep uphill, just full of roots. You're not going to be able to use a timer and time how long you run or how long you walk. So need other techniques. So when I run in the neighborhood, I'll set a timer for maybe run for a minute, walk for 20 seconds. That's pretty easy. Every time it beeps, I can walk or run depending on the schedule. But out on the trail, maybe I have a beep where I run, but then I've got to walk over this section of roots and rocks. Well, that just screws up the whole run timing, right? So I've developed some techniques over the years to help me still do run, walk, run, but not use a rigid timer, and I want to share those with you today. But I'm going to do it out on the trail, so let me go get my vest on, let me get my GoPro, and we'll hit the trail. So I think what helps in understanding my methods or techniques in using run, walk, run on a trail is kind of understanding the underlying reason for it, and that is frequent walk breaks. It's what I call conservation of energy. And it's not pushing yourself so hard to where you get really tired and maybe just have to quit or even injure yourself. It's kind of like if you're driving your car and you try and coast a little bit, maybe try and extend that mileage you get out of your tank of gas. It's kind of the same thing. So with that in mind, here are a couple ways that I use run, walk, run on the trail. So the first method is what I call seat of the pants. If you're a user of run, walk, run, you kind of have an idea of how long you run, how long you walk. Well, kind of use your internal body clock to run and walk roughly those times. And what you need to do though is adjust it if you get into a section that you have to walk. For example, if I've been running a short amount of time and I come to a section that I have to walk, I'll walk it and then start running again. If I get into a section that's fairly benign, where I can run most of it, I'll run, and then after a while I'll say, you know what, I haven't taken a walk break. I'll take a walk break, maybe after a minute or two. Just kind of use my gut feel, seat of the pants, and just do those instinctively. And just try to account for the walk you need to do over rough spots, steep spots, or whatever. Seat of the pants. So it's time for me to take a walk break. I've been running fairly level section. Haven't taken a walk break, I'm going to take one. So just go by seat of the pants. Now probably the biggest advantage of seat of the pants is it's easy. It doesn't require setting a timer, listening for a timer. You do have to maybe think a little bit about it, but not a lot. Just take walk breaks when you feel like you need them and just pay attention to how long you're running. It's pretty easy to do. And you're just following the basics of run, walk, run. Now the next method I use is what I call counting. Yeah, like it sounds, 1001, 1002, 1003. Now I particularly use those in sections where there's a lot of intermittent walking hazards. For example, a bunch of rocks or roots, but they're not real big, they're not real long, and they're interspersed randomly in a section of the trail. For example, I'll be running 1007, 1008, 1009. Well, I need to walk over this small section. Then I pick up 1010, 1011. I'll keep running. 1020, well, another small section. Walk over it. 1021, 1022, and then I'll keep counting until I get to whatever, 45 or 60, whatever I'm shooting for, and then I'll stop and take a rest break. Maybe I'll count the rest break, maybe I won't. Now if I get into a long walking section, like there's a long section just full of rocks and roots, I may count that and count that as a walk break, just so I know how long I walked. So I kind of use seat of the pants and counting interchangeably. On short trail runs, I'll pretty much just do seat of the pants. On long trail runs, we'll want to be a little more careful about taking walking breaks. I might intersperse counting a little bit, but those can be used interchangeably together, whatever suits your needs. Now my last technique suggestion is actually use an interval timer, but use it a little differently. Set both intervals for 15 seconds. This way, whenever you hear a beep, you kind of know how long you've been doing whatever you're doing, whether you're walking or running. For example, the trail I'm running today has a lot of straight sections that are very easy, so I might count out 3 or 4 beeps knowing I've walked 45 seconds to a minute, and then I'll take a walk break. Or if you have to walk a long section, it's a long section, maybe it's very hazardous, and you listen for the beeps, maybe you walked 15 seconds, maybe you walked 30 seconds. So at least you get an idea based on the beeps, how long you've been running, how long you've been walking, and maybe what you want to do on the next beep. Now I don't use this technique too often because I don't like the beeps every 15 seconds when I'm out in the forest. I feel like it kind of interrupts the natural ambiance of the woods. But I do use it occasionally, and it is a good technique to help you do run, walk, run. So all 3 techniques can be used interchangeably. I just took a walk break and count out 15. I want to take about a 15-second walk break, then I'll start running again. Now you can use the interval timer if maybe you're going into a section of the trail that's pretty benign, pretty straight and level, doesn't have many walking areas, and just use your intervals to count how long you're running and walking. And then maybe when you get to a more technical part of the trail where you've got some walking areas that you need to walk over, then maybe revert to either the seat of the pants or the counting technique. Hey, thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, please consider clicking that subscribe icon and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you again soon.